Looking for clarity and confidence when it comes to decision making for your business? You've come to the right place. You're now listening to the Atomic Business Coaching Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. What's up, Tom?
What's up, Adam? I guess you got the memo. It's gray day, huh?
Gray
Got
day.
the gray shirt, got the gray sweatshirt, got the gray hat. It's gray day.
It's a great day. Listen, if you are a purple collar professional, you're not going to want to miss this episode. This is going to be something that will completely change your business. There is not another topic I'm more passionate about. There's not a thing that could be more revolutionary for your business, for your life. This is something we're going to talk about. So, Tom, why don't you tell them what we're going to talk about?
We're going to talk about networking and how networking is such a game changer for you, for your life, your business, all of it. It is just incredible, the power of networking and what the opportunities are that come from it, and really talking about how it's about a service mindset and going into networking with the right mindset, like how can I help other people? And that's really the beauty of networking and what we love to do so much.
Nice. So you've probably heard this before if you've listened, but if you haven't, I apologize. I'll say it again. There's 5 key things that you have to do every single day in your business, okay? And what those are: branding, marketing, sales, production, and then building relationships, okay? So it's at the bottom of the list, but it's actually the first thing you need to do, okay? Because when you build relationships, that is the catalyst for the other 4 categories. If you build a relationship, it allows you to brand, tell people who you are and what you do. If you build relationships, it allows you to market, asking someone for an opportunity to pitch them. If you build relationships, you'll find opportunities to do sales. If you build relationships, you'll find opportunities to do your production. And if you build relationships, you'll find opportunities to build more of them. So this is the catalyst for all of the other 4 areas. This is how I have built every single one of my businesses. Until Atomic Business Coaching, I did not spend $1 on any kind of advertising. All of my business is through networking. So what I would like today to really be about is not what is networking, how to network. All right, Tom?
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's such a great point that you know, we have got caught up in this whole social media world and all this online advertising and all of this nonsense. And you sometimes forget the root and what is the best way to advertise your business. And this is through networking and building the relationships with people in a network.
So talk about that. Talk about building relationships. Like what does it mean in general? Let's not talk about the networking aspect,
right,
but what does it mean, Tom, to build a relationship?
Well, to build a relationship is always about getting to know somebody else. It's about knowing what they do, who they are. It's kind of like they can brand to you, right? You can build that relationship and start there. You look for commonalities in any relationship that you build. You look for shared struggle. You look for that thing that is going to bring you closer to that person. And the other thing too is when there isn't something that is necessarily similar, what can you learn from that other person, right? It's an opportunity to learn from other people. Building relationships there's so many benefits to it. You get the chance to know somebody in a way that maybe you would not have thought of ever knowing that person. And it really is such a powerful experience when you build that concrete foundation to your relationship, because the key is to start off by building trust. And you want to establish that in the relationship from the very beginning, so that when that person does need you and they need something from you or they need help with something, that they know they can trust you. And that's what this is all about. Relationships are purely about building trust, learning from people, and really getting to know somebody else with probably a lot of commonalities that you have.
I like that. Yeah, it's a great way. And that's why I wanted to take it away from networking our business and really just relationships as a whole, because there's really no difference, right? A relationship with your friend, a relationship with your employee, a relationship with your spouse or your child or a colleague, they're all the same, right? Relationships are relationships. And that's what networking is about. Networking means you have good relationships that you can rely on to do one of 2 things. So let's talk about the maintenance of the relationship. These are the 2 things. So Tom, what are 2 ways that you can, there's really only 2 things. There's 2 things you can do to maintain relationships. And what are those two things? And he's not prepped for this, so we'll see if he gets what I'm thinking.
So the two things that I think about, right, about a relationship is that you have someone to reach out to, right? You have someone that you can connect with. But I'm not sure I know where you want to go with this. I'm thinking,
so I'll go there.
Yeah, go. Let's see what you're thinking about.
So you can either give or you can take.
That's true. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's really,
Yep.
This is how you maintain a relationship, right? So you can give them something or you can take something from them. That's really all relationships are, right? Like, I want to give, I want to give, I want to give, and that's how you're maintaining it. Or I want to take and I want to take and I want to take, and that's how you're maintaining it. It's a two-way street, right? If it's not, if you're just giving, is that a relationship, Tom?
No, it's not.
Right. And if you're just taking, who wants to be in that? You know,
no, it's
like,
not.
No one's going to want to be in a relationship with you.
Exactly. And people talk about transactional relationships, right? And most transactional relationships
I call that business.
Yeah, it's all business. It's probably just take, right? Just
business in general
is transactional.
If
That's true.
And wife, if there's a husband and wife they're on their second marriage, and he's 70 years old, she's 25 and beautiful and everything else, it's transactional.
That is transactional.
They're both getting something out of it, but there's an exchange.
Correct.
Right? There's an exchange for something, and it's not there for give and take. Is it? Yes, no, but it's more transactional.
True. It's
what we're
business.
talking about is something a little bit different.
Yep, absolutely. And that's what I wanted to just draw the distinction, that we're not talking about transactional relationships.
Right. So how would you classify it then?
I think we're talking about something bigger than a transaction. We're talking about an emotional reciprocation. We're talking about a give and take. We're talking about making deposits and withdrawals. We've talked about that in the past, where, you deposit into a relationship and you give to the relationship. And then there's always a time in the relationship where you're going to need something and you need to take something from that relationship. But it's not transactional, because if it's a give and take, there is not a transaction. It's a two-way street, as you said earlier.
Right. And that's really how you can maintain the relationship, is make sure that there is a harmony between that give and take, right? Make sure that there's an awareness and an intentionality behind, what am I doing? Am I really giving to this enough? Have I given so much that it's now the appropriate time to take? And the way you can really find out if you have an amazing relationship is if you look at one another as a resource, right? There's a resource, and it's like, oh my gosh. You can, at any moment in time, you can reach out to that person and ask for something, and they will drop everything and do that for you, right? That's when you know you have a rock star relationship, okay? Like, any moment, I can call anytime and ask, and I know without question, without a doubt, the answer is going to be yes, okay? That's what you're looking for in a relationship. Whether or not they can give you exactly what you want is one thing. Whether or not they're willing to give their time, energy, effort, and the rest of their network to help you, that's what you're looking for. Right. And you should be doing that from the beginning. So let's talk about how you begin networking to its best ability. The way that we have done this, and Tom and I, if you don't know this, Tom and I met through a group that I founded called Long Island Networkers. I created this group because, as I said earlier, I have built my entire businesses, all of them, through networking, through building relationships. I really don't advertise. I find out, how can I help the people who are in the room? And that's the number one place where you need to start. When you enter into any room, into any networking opportunity, you have to be, as Tom said earlier on, in a service mindset. The first primary thing you have to do is, what can I do for the other people in the room? So why don't you talk a little bit about that, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, we had such a great experience this past weekend. We did a networking breakfast, and it was awesome because people were in the room, and as people started to go around, more helping happened, right? People chimed in with, oh, I can help you with that. Oh, I can help you with this. And no one was selling anything. No one was doing anything that was out of sorts or skeevy or whatever. There was a genuine desire to help somebody achieve a goal or get something that they needed. And when you do that and you start to get to know someone, and what you should be asking in your questions when you're talking to that person and getting to know them, you should be thinking about, how can I really help this person? How can I get them a benefit from maybe a contact that I have or a person that I know, right? We always joke about, I know a guy, right? I know a guy. The Italians are famous for always knowing a guy. I got a guy for this, a guy for that. But we got a guy. And
wait. My neighbor across the street, he has a bunch of collectible cars, And his license plate is I got a guy 1, I got a guy 2, I got a guy. And
awesome.
he was a business owner that he always had a guy. It's really funny. So it's a very New York thing for those of you who aren't in New York.
Yeah, it's a very New York thing. But it really is about, I have someone that can help you. If I can't help you directly, I know somebody that can help you. And that's really where we're trying. And we were doing that too in the room. We were trying to see, if these two people paired up together, wow, that would be an amazing experience for them. They would really bounce off each other well, and they would really mutually benefit from that relationship. And that's what we're really looking for to do in networking situations, is to develop a mutually beneficial relationship that allows you to grow and to conquer and take on more, because now you have somebody who's going to go through a shared experience with you. And that's the beautiful thing, is finding those synergies amongst all the people in the room, not handing out a business card, not just like dropping a business card and being like, oh yeah, if you ever need this, give me a call. No, that's not what it's about. It's how can I help you? Let me connect you to this person. I'll get back to you with this guy, and we'll keep moving it forward, and we'll keep helping each other.
So here's something I'll let you know about with networking that I do that people are going to be like, you're crazy and you should be doing that, but I'll explain why. You said business card, right? You dropped a business card. Yeah. I don't bring business cards to networking groups, ever. Never, ever. And when people give them to me, I tell them, that's nice, but it's probably going to go in the garbage. Mm-hmm. And they look at me like I have 7 heads. Here's the thing. When I'm in a networking group, I'm looking to connect. Okay. I don't need your phone number and your email address and this and that. If me and you are meant to connect, we will definitely make sure it happens. In this day and age, we can find each other any way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. I can Google your name. I could find your website. But if you really mattered to me, okay, if I really wanted to connect, or you really wanted to connect with me, you would look me up. I mean, you can go to any resource in the world now. If you're in business, you are available in the palm of your hand with one search. You'll find them on LinkedIn. You'll find them on Facebook. You find the website. You find some kind of other profile on some other thing. You will find them. Okay. And you met through some kind of group. And here's how you use networking. When you don't have that information, you say, hey, I met a guy who did a thing with this stuff. And that person's like, oh yeah, I know Joe. Great. Can you connect us? Because that's their job. Mm-hmm. That's your opportunity to take, because you gave and you're like, wow, I have a resource for this guy. And you can go and ask somebody else, hey, can you connect us? I'm like, yeah, I know that guy, Joe. I'll connect you. Oh, yeah, that's great. You guys would definitely be good together. I could see how that would make sense. Mm-hmm. And then you're building more connections. Right. Okay. And you're building more relationships. And now when that person connected, me and Joe and that guy are happy because they're like, oh, thanks so much for connecting me to this relationship. Yeah. And this is what it's about. It's about helping one another. Okay. So on the business card thing, don't bring your business card. Nope. You'll know if you want to connect with someone. And if they really want to connect with you, they will find you. Okay. Mm-hmm. So now back to our regularly scheduled program. What were we talking about?
No, I think that was a really great point. Like when you create a meaningful connection with somebody, you're going to go out of your way to find that person and to work with that person and to do the thing with that person. And, you can have all these empty connections, and that's not networking. Having empty connections is not networking. You have to have meaningful connections with the people that you meet, because you want to add them to your network to be a resource for you and anyone you come in contact with that might need that person. We connect so many of our clients to our networks. Mm-hmm. Like this morning, I connected a client to a web developer who's in our network, and like constantly trying to and give other people business and benefit and meet other people. It doesn't have to necessarily come from me, the business. It can come from the people that I know, that you know, in our network. And building those meaningful connections is what makes the difference a business card could never make.
And it's about becoming a resource.
Correct.
When your network looks at you as a resource, you become invaluable. Now, I have people that reach out to me for things that I do zero on. Like, I literally have no knowledge on it. I don't have any expertise. I've never been in that industry, that business or anything, but they will reach out to me and ask me, hey, I'm considering doing X, Y, and Z. Do you know somebody? Because they know how my network operates. They know that I am there to help them. They know that I have met so many people and I've connected with the right ones because and I've maintained the right ones because it was a two-way street.
Mhm.
So when people come to me for a recommendation on anything, especially the things that I don't do, they're really looking at me like Adam will point me in the right direction. And for networking, that's what you want to become. You want to become a resource to all of those people who could one day either be your client or they actually know your clients. That's
Mhm.
the whole point of this. So the next time someone reaches out to them and says, "Hey, I need the thing that you do, that I need the thing that this other person I know does," you're the first person they think of. They're like, "Oh, you got to call Joe.
Right.
Joe is the guy. Oh my gosh, he's helped me with so many things." They may have never done business with you.
Mhm.
They may not need your services. They may actually buy the services you provide from somebody else, but they're recommending you. And
Right.
that happens all the time because you have become this trusted resource. You have this relationship with them where they are saying, "My gosh, I have to point you to this person, Adam,
Mhm.
because he has just been so great for me." And here's how that happens. I'll give you the tactic that I've used. I guilt people. I guilt
Mhm.
them over and over and over again. That's a lot of overs. The way that I do that is I just over deliver. Okay. So I
Mhm.
am there in a service mindset. What can I do for the other 20-ish people in the room? How can I connect them to something else that they need? How can I help them with something that they need right now, whether that's from me or from someone else that I know? And I do that so much and so often with no reciprocation expected that they feel so guilty that they start looking for reasons to connect with me. They start looking for reasons to give to me because they know if they want to maintain this relationship based on my reputation,
Correct.
that they're going to have to give back.
Mhm.
So they will actively find ways to solve my problems, find ways to connect me, find ways to do things for me because of how much I've done for them. And this is what the world is about.
Right.
This is what business really should be. We are all in the business of solving people's problems. Any business that you are in, you are solving another person's problem. That is what you're doing. And this is all networking is. Except now you have to be wide open to can your network help their problem? And
Correct.
this is how I guilt people into that over and over and over again. This is why I never had to advertise because it was all inbound. It was all super warm, if not hot, people coming to
Mhm.
me because someone else advocated on my behalf, even if they never did business with me. They would just say, "You know what, Adam does this thing. I've never done it, but he's such a good guy. I trust him."
Right.
And that's what Tom started this with.
Right. And that is such a key point. It's the hot, warm referral that you're getting from the member of that network that builds trust in somebody you haven't even met yet. Because when you are validated by somebody else or quote unquote vetted or vouched for by somebody else and they can come and meet with you, it's going to do so much more for you and your business too, because you're going to get that benefit of that warm connection. Like we work with people all the time that we like, that we get as a referral. Most likely they're going to close with us, right? Because they already were warmed up by the person who said that they would send them to us, right? And the same thing, when we advocate for somebody else, it's that warm and hot recommendation that you want. Because listen, there's so many crazy people out there on the internet. You never know who you're going to get, what crackpot you're going to get, and what craziness. One of my clients was scammed by somebody for a website for $10,000. And that's why she needed somebody, because she didn't ask me if I knew anybody in my network, and she wound up getting scammed. And I said to her, just reach out the next time. Because I usually have somebody that could solve that problem for you. And that's what it's about. We don't have to always provide all the solutions to your problems, but we got a guy that will do that, or we got a girl that's going to help you with that. And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, and the key is it's not a guy that I met yesterday that handed me their business
Right.
card, and I'm now going to try to give them something so they give me something. The
Right.
point about it is that I've spent time building the relationship. I would never recommend somebody or introduce people if I didn't know one of those parties extremely well. And here's a key to this. Here's another tactic. I learned this from a gentleman named Michael Goldberg. He's got I forget the name of his program. It was like Knockout Networking. That's what it was. Knockout Networking. And he was I think a semi-pro boxer, and he would come into these meetings with
That's
boxing
clever.
gloves. It was good.
Okay.
And he was super wow, he was intense. He was an intense guy. But he taught me a bunch of things for networking. But this one thing, he said, you have to know when to cut somebody off. You can't continue to network with somebody if they're just take. When you go into a situation, here's an easy, simple way that he said you can know how to move on to the next conversation. When you're at a new networking group, maybe you know nobody, and you're going and you're asking people about themselves. First of all, everybody loves to talk about themselves, okay? We all do, I do. It's just natural human nature.
Yep.
But if you start asking them questions and they're talking about them and ask them another question, they talk about them and ask another question, they talk about it and they talk about it, and you just keep asking questions and they never ask you one, you don't want to network with them.
Correct.
Okay? They're going to show their true colors right up front that either they have no confidence, okay? And you really can't be in business if people have no confidence, okay? Or they have no class and it's just all about them and they're always going to be a taker for the rest of your life. So in a moment like that, when they're asking, be like, this is what you do. It's very simple how to do this. You say, oh my gosh, Tom, I've taken so much of your time. I'm going to let you get back to the other people in the room. I'm going to go over here and see this person. Thanks so much. It was really a pleasure to meet you. And you walk away. Okay. You thank them. You say, I don't want to take any more of your time. And you walk away. Now, here's a problem I see with so many people is they get into a networking meeting. They meet one person and they spend the entire meeting with this person.
Right.
Okay. Networking is to see, do I want to build a relationship? Okay. That's what the networking meeting is for. Do I want to build a relationship with this person? You're not supposed to build relationships on site.
Right.
Okay. You're supposed to say, is there something I can do for this person? Is there a way I can help this person? Is there an interest I have in learning about this person? Okay. And then you say, hey, you know what? I think we'd be really good. How about when we're both free, we get together, phone call, Zoom meeting, coffee, lunch, whatever it may be. And that's where you go build a relationship.
Correct.
If you're spending all your time in a networking meeting with one person and not moving about the room, you're not going to network. Okay. You're going to hijack someone's time. You're going to steal your own opportunities, and it's not going to be worth it for you or the person that you're doing that to.
Correct.
So I'd be very careful about that.
Yeah, you brought up confidence and the issue of confidence, and a lot of business owners may not be comfortable doing this, and this is something that you really have to come out of a comfort zone. Like there was a guy there on Saturday that we met with, and he said, "This is not usually my thing. I'm an introvert. I don't usually go out." But the guy was talking because we kept asking questions. He was a rock star. He was a rock star, but he took an interest in us. He took an interest in what we did. But we also took profound interest in what he did and wanted to know more about what he did, because he's an opportunity for us to really expand and increase what we're doing. And that's one of the beautiful things that came out of it. But when you struggle with confidence and you struggle with going up to people in a networking situation, because that creates a lot of social anxiety for people. And not everybody is good at that. But the key is that you have to come out of that comfort zone. And the best way to always come out of a comfort zone is by asking questions. I talk about it all the time with my clients when we're talking about their different zones. And you got to pass through that fear zone very quickly from your comfort zone to your learning zone. Don't let the fear get in the way, because that is going to get you stuck in a place where you're not going to be able to build relationships. Then you're not going to have the resources that you need. And then you won't be able to help anybody in your world that may be looking to you for some help someday. So ask the questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and put yourself in that situation where you can test your confidence and learning about other people. Always have a list of questions in your head that you want to go through, that you really want to be intentional about asking, and then ask those questions and be confident in what you're going to share about what you do. Because when somebody asks you about your expertise, you no longer are the introvert. You tend to become an extrovert in that moment, because you're talking about something that is very well known to you, where you embrace a ton of confidence.
The best networkers actually do nothing but listen.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
You're just listening. Now, there's still going to be a group of people who say, oh, that's nice, Tom. And
Right.
ask the question. I don't know what to ask. I don't want to look stupid. And we know a few of those people, right?
Right. Yeah.
You know exactly
I don't want to
what
look
I'm talking
stupid.
about. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. But you know what? Just
But wait,
ask
wait.
the damn question.
Well, so here's another tactic, okay? It's very simple. Who, what, where, when, why, how. Ask one of those questions, okay? So that's it. Who are you? Oh, I'm Joe. Da, da, da. Okay. What do
you do?
Oh, I do this. Oh, when did you get started doing that? Oh, da, da, da. Where's your business located? Da, da, da. How did you get involved with this business? Oh, da, da, da. Who, what, where, when, why, how. on whatever they said. So Tom, we're just going to role play it, but have nothing to do with business, right?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So what are you doing after the podcast?
After the podcast, I'm writing up our newsletter section that I have to do from this podcast.
Oh, what's the newsletter about?
Well, the newsletter is about networking for the business, for the purple collar individual.
Why do you do this?
So I do it because it conveys information to our audience, and we want to share our information with our audience.
How'd you get started doing that?
Well, we decided, we got this CRM system, and we're like, oh, you can send out newsletters. Why don't we start a newsletter so we can get talking to a larger audience, because we want to share information with more people.
Where can I find that?
Well, you can find it by signing up on our website for our newsletter. You can subscribe to our newsletter, and you'll be part of the club, and you'll get a newsletter every Monday morning.
And who would be a good person I could send this to?
Any purple collar professional, any business owner that's looking
What's purple collar? Okay, this is endless, right?
Yeah,
you see
it's endless.
Folks?
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's who, what, where, and why, how. You just, whatever you're saying, listen, number one. Don't wait for your turn to speak, because too many people are waiting for their turn to speak. Listen, and then add who, what, when, where, why, or how to the beginning of whatever you want to know.
Yeah.
Right? And what I was doing there is I was trying to find ways I can help Tom. Okay? I was asking him, who can I send that to? Oh, where can I find that thing? Oh, how did you start that? Why did you do this? I'm getting information, so in my brain, I could cycle through my network and figure out, there's the connection. Here's how I can help Tom do everything he's saying to me right now. And that's the key to why I would I'd have to say I am an expert networker. I don't toot my own horn very often.
No, you are.
When it comes to networking, I don't know anybody who does it better than me. And it's because I am constantly listening and saying, where can I connect it? Where can I connect it? Where can I, boop. And my brain cell just explodes. And it's like, there it is. There's a connection. And now that leads me into giving. Oh, wow, that's very interesting. You know what? And then I'll explain something to them that helps them, that I can give to them, that I can connect them. And at that moment, they're like, man, I want to connect with this guy. I usually say, that's awesome. Do you have a business card? I don't carry anybody, but you know how to find me, right? And they're like, yeah, I know how to find you. And then they go right back to, that's so nice of you. Oh, I'd love to do that. Da, da, da. And it's usually, can we jump on a call? Can we have a lunch? They're so excited to meet with me. I didn't have to ask to meet with them. They're super excited to meet with me. And here's the thing now, when I sit down with them to help them, if they don't ask things about me and say, how can I help you? That's the end of that relationship. I will still help them. But that's it. I'm not going to try to give any more. They at least have to ask, hey, how can I help you? And my response usually is, if I think of something, I'll definitely let you know. It doesn't have to be like, oh, here's my opportunity to take. Let's go take. Build and maintain that relationship.
Correct.
Okay? And you don't have to force these things. Just be interested. So listen, this is why I hope all of you can hear the passion in our voices about this, because we are spending a tremendous amount of time networking. If you're on Long Island and you want to do some networking, reach out to us, because we do have 3 private groups where we do networking. The one that we did on Saturday cost us about $880, and we didn't charge anybody a dime. Okay. We want to do more networking to connect good people. It helps our clients. It helps the people that we meet. It allows us to find new opportunities. It is an amazing thing. We have paid networking groups. We have ones that we facilitate. We attend other people's networking groups. So if you have something right here on Long Island, New York, let us know about it. We'll either help promote it, we'll attend it, or, you can come and reach out and come to one of our things. And if you are not on Long Island, we do have some opportunities to do things online. Okay. So we have a business owner support group thing that we do that's half really mastermind and half networking. So we have things like that. We're not looking to make money. Every one of our networking groups, we don't make a dime on. Am I right, Tom?
No, not a penny.
Yeah. There's even one that costs $3,000 a year to be a member of, but we don't make a dime on that. We actually lose money because we have our staff facilitate everything. Yeah. That's just, we have super high end lunches, and you bring a guest, lunch is like $300 and whatever. But we do those, okay, to meet a different level of person. Okay. We have all these opportunities, and we want to hear about your opportunities. My goal through networking is to find better and better people that I can connect my people with, better people that I can help, better people that I can connect with, and they can help me. This is what it's all about. If you're in business, this is the most important thing you can do. So on that note, Tom, I'm going to end this, and I would say that I am Adam, and I work on the business.
I'm Tom. I work on the owner.
Together, we are Atomic Business Coaching.
And we're in the business of helping purple collar professionals.